Thanks for joining me today. This is Danny, and welcome back to my FTB Unstable 1.8 series, episode number 7. Today we are going to be playing a little bit with RF tools and the RF tools storage, the RF tools crafting, and we're going to be moving into that house. I've been a little busy. I've been a little busy between the last episode and now building this house, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I said I was going to try to keep it simple. Whoa. And I mostly did, you know, because like I said, this world may crash. Dark wood is great wood. These are great wood logs, of course, and then great wood planks and stairs. We don't have carpenter blocks. However, we do have chisels and bits, and I've been playing with chisels and bits, and we could theoretically get a pitched roof without using stairs, you know, the straight pitched roof that we can do with carpenter's blocks. We could do that with chisels and bits, but it would take some time. I did use chisels and bits for this trim around the windows. It's 1 bit thick, and I don't think we're gonna have time today to really look at chisels and bits, but I definitely want to take some time at some point in the future, because holy wow, windows are not vanilla. They look like vanilla because there's no other patterns right now. Chisel doesn't even have any patterns for glass yet, but as you can see, it's just 1 pixel wide. It's on the outside, or 1 bit wide, I guess you could say. It's on the outside of the block, because that's where I put it. And here's the interior. The interior is not done. It's got a basement. I haven't finished the basement yet, but I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. And this is where I'm going to put our storage stuff. And that's a lot of what we're going to be working on today is storage. And then up here, I have my Thumbcraft room, I guess you could say. This is my, obviously, the Infusion stuff. It's kind of cramped. You know, after I put it in here, I was kind of like, I don't know if I like this in here because it's really cramped. You probably noticed I also have a arcane levitator. One of our tasks today is going to be to move this in there. Now, unfortunately, like an ME system, or unlike an ME system, you can't just... Wait, actually, it's an axe. You can't pick it up. Look at that. It breaks, and then it comes back, because it's got stuff in it. You have to empty it out before you can pick it up. So what we're going to do, I made a modular storage from RF tools. I think I did that off camera, too. So this is, it's a block by RF tools. I'm actually going to set it right I'm going to set it right there. But this thing, it takes a storage module, which is similar to a storage cell that you would have in Applied Energistics in an ME system. There's 3 tiers of storage cells. There's tier 1, 2, and 3. And this is 100, 200, and 300 stacks, respectively. So this guy will hold 300 stacks of objects, which isn't quite what we have in here. But we can fill it up, pull it out, throw another one in there, and then fill that one up. And then we can bring it all back in the house, and then dump it all back in here. Now, these storage systems are pretty cool. I mean, they're similar to this. You can search, but there's no crafting. There's no crafting component to the RF tool storage. So I'm definitely going to stick with our easy storage core, because it's freaking awesome, and hope that someday auto crafting is added to that mod, because that would just give me tears of joy, because that would be awesome. So I really love this mod so far. It's just been, it's been really awesome. But what we're going to have to do is we have this input bus over here. We're going to have to make an output bus. All right. We've got it. We've got our storage, or our output port, and as long as it's touching one of the other blocks, as long as all of the blocks are touching each other, this should be tuned into that network. Now, I don't know. We might have to have some kind of piping or something. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to directly pull stuff into here. I think we got it. It's a hopper duct. It doesn't look like it's connected, but if we look, there's stuff in there. I don't know where else I would have gotten it from other than there. So now we can take our wrench and turn it toward there. Oh, darn it. And we should see It's working. It's all gone. Everything's gone. Everything I own is on these 2 storage modules. Let's hope nothing bad happens to them. So now we should be able to break this guy. Hooray! And all of its pieces. I'm just going to put that right there. I'm going to go downstairs in our unfinished basement. And we can just put all these other pieces down here. As long as everything is touching something in the group, it should work. Hooray, everything's back up. Okay, now we're gonna grab this guy. We're gonna put the modular storage here. This is temporary because we just want to be able to pull all this stuff back in here. I don't know. You know what? We can just stick a hopper there. I know I said I was going to try not to get too distracted with chisels and bits today. But it is really hard. Check this out. I mean, you can build whatever you want. So I just took this chisel and I chiseled away. Basically, I right-clicked or left-clicked on a greatwood block until it was gone. And I got myself a chiseled bit bag, which is now full of all these itty bitty bitty little bits. Nice. And I can build whatever I want with these little bits. And then I can make a pattern out of it and have my own custom blocks. And I placed this thing on the top half of this block, so I can actually set stuff up on the shelf and it'll look like it's on the shelf. Look at that! We're gonna burn down our house, but hey. I've got everything moved now. Our system is all full. It's filled back up again. It looks like we're gonna be running out of storage pretty soon too. Whoa. I've got our hopper ducks coming from our tree farm and our vegetable farm. All right, we're ready to do some crafting. Some craftering. So I've got the RF Tools crafter set up over here. Actually, I'm going to... No, we'll just leave that. I'm just afraid one of these trees are going to grow while we're standing here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... Hey! What? Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to do this fast enough. Ugh. Okay, then I guess. Jeez. All right, let's do this then. Okay. There. So this is the crafter. Now, there's a couple different crafters in this mod pack, and there's 4 of them from Progressive Automation. Now, Progressive Automation is this mod, the one that the stone chopper and some of the other machines we're using are from. It has, just like all the Progressive Automation machines, wood, stone, iron, and diamond. They're pretty cheap, and they require no RF. So that's the advantage of them. The wood crafter is the cheapest. It's very slow. The stone crafter is, obviously progressively faster. So the diamond one is the fastest one. However, they're all only capable of crafting a single crafting recipe. So for what we need to do here, we need to craft from oak wood, we need to craft planks, and then from the planks we need to craft sticks, and from the planks and sticks we need to craft axes, wooden axes. And we're just going to do wooden ones because we don't care, how long they last, because it's just going to keep crafting them, and it'll be totally self-sufficient because it's getting wood. And of course, it's also burning wood. So this thing is going to be totally self-sufficient now, and we will never have to mess with it again. We will move it eventually because this is not an ideal location for it. It's kind of obstructing our ocean view from the house. But anyway, so I got this thing set up. The RF Tools crafters, there's 3 tiers. The first tier can actually handle 2 recipes, and it's relatively cheap as well. Tier 2 can handle 4. Tier 3 can handle 8. We're doing Tier 2 because we need to be able to do 3 recipes, and Tier 2 can handle 4. Now, of course, the one disadvantage again is that it does require RF. This mod pack, the only pipes that I could find for RF of any kind are these iron kinesis pipes from BC Transport rather. They're pretty cool. I noticed a few visual glitches sometimes, like when you place them, sometimes they're invisible, and then you have to place one next to it, and then they appear. And then sometimes when the flux comes through it, it's a weird flashy color, but it looks like it should look really cool when it's doing what it's supposed to do. So anyway, if we do what I said, if we tell it, okay, craft planks from wood, craft sticks from planks, craft axes, blah blah blah. We're gonna end up with a full inventory full of sticks, and there won't be any planks. And then when it has to craft a axe, there won't be anything left. So what we can do is we can tell it what we want in its inventory. So we can do this, and then we can say remember the current items in the internal and external buffer. So now if we lift these up, we can see there's the shadow of the planks back there. So I figure we'll use more planks than sticks because, you know, an axe is 2 sticks and a plank, so that kind of makes sense. And then we need a little bit of room for oak wood so that oak wood can be piped in, which I haven't done that part yet, but we'll get to that. So once we do that, so always make sure you do that first. Otherwise, as soon as you create the recipe, it's going to start filling up your inventory with stuff, and you'll have a big mess. So first, our first recipe is going to be planks. That's easy enough, and we want it to store internally, meaning in this little storage buffer. We don't want it here because we're not sending planks out to this hopper. You know what? I'm gonna take a nap. So anyway, so we tell it we want to craft. What the heck? I don't know why it's doing that, but we want to craft oakwood planks, internal, all, apply. Okay, so now it's going to craft oakwood planks because we had some, and it's taking power. See, look at that. It's kind of cool. Minus the kind of glitchy stuff, but the glitchy stuff is a little crazy on the eyes. But anyway, so we've told it that we want oakwood planks, and then our second recipe, of course, is going to be sticks. There's 2 choices here. We can keep and we can all. Keep means to keep all the slots full, so like this. But we don't really need it to do that, and we've got our slots reserved, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine if it consolidates the slots. Hey, what happened to my recipe here? This is a little glitchy, I noticed, especially when you switch between the recipes. Like sometimes it'll pick up the wrong recipe, or sometimes it'll pick up part of one recipe and part of another one. So internal, keep. Okay. So now it's actually going to, well, it's not going to start crafting sticks because all the stick inventory is full. Because I was playing with this before. And then finally we're going to tell it, part of the recipe is there, all external. So that means we want it to put here so that it can be piped out into the hopper. Oh crap, I didn't want it to make more sticks. Axes. And then apply, and boom, 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 it's going to make a bunch of axes, and it's going to drop them down here in our hopper, and then it'll keep our thing full here. So we'll never have to worry about that. So now I'm going to just cut this away. I mean, this is kind of a mess. I'm going to fix it eventually. But I've got these I have a hopper under the tree farm so that it's pulling out the wood and everything, and it's actually sending it back to our base. We saw that before. I put a hopper underneath it. Now these hopper ducts, like I mentioned, they act just like vanilla hoppers basically, except they only have one inventory, and they don't always pull from inventories. So if you put a hopper underneath it, it's going to act similar. So in this case, I have a hopper underneath it. It's a graded hopper. This is also part of the hopper ducts mod. And you basically give it a filter. So you don't have to screw around with the vanilla hopper filtering and all that crap. You can just tell it, hey, I want oak wood in this thing. So it puts oak wood in there and it doesn't allow anything else through. And just like a vanilla hopper, about half of the oak wood ends up heading in that direction, half of it ends up down here until this one is full. Once it's full, then all the wood will end up going there. And it will get full eventually because we're definitely producing more wood than we're using. Click there first. And then whatever you click on is the direction. That little white thing shows you the direction that it's going to be sending items in. So whatever you click on, that's the direction it's going to send things in, just like a vanilla hopper. And of course, you can use a wrench to change the direction. Oh boy. How am I going to get in there? Okay, actually I'm going to do this. Whoops. That. And then I'm going to use the wrench to turn it so that it's going in this direction. And then I'm going to go like that. And now if we look up there, we should see that it's filling up with wood and that it's probably crafting a bunch of stuff right now. Yep, it's crafting our planks. So it's going to fill this inventory up with planks, and once that's full, then it's just going to store wood here. And then it'll just always sit there, and the only time it'll craft this stuff is when it needs another axe. But right now, our tree farm, it's supplying itself with wood for fuel. It's supplying itself with saplings from the trees that it picks. And it's supplying itself with axes because it's using its own wood to craft axes. So we never have to think about this tree farm again until we decide to move. In retrospect, it probably would have been a good idea to fill a bunch of these with like stone or something we don't need, just so that because we don't need to store all that wood. That's just unnecessary. But oh well, it's fine. It'll fill up eventually, and then it'll just always be there. I'm going to move this furnace. We don't need it here anymore because we're not going to have to interact with it anymore. And we can also get rid of some of these pipes. Actually, we're going to need that one. These BC transport pipes, they require a wooden pipe as an input pipe. Actually, technically, I would call it an output pipe, but they call it an input pipe from the source of whatever. So we're going to put, we'll put the generator, wait. So I made a furnace. This is from the furnace mod, FURNUS. It's basically a powered furnace. I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to put a hopper. So this is the hopper duct that's going up to the auto crafter with wood. So if we put a hopper right here, half of that wood's going to end up dropping into this hopper. And it's going to end up in the furnace. Assuming that the furnace has an IO upgrade. So anyway, we're going to put the coal generator here. It's too bad we can't get this guy to run off RF. I wonder... Nope. It's too bad. That would be nice. Okay, so then we're going to tell this guy to output over there. And now we can see our furnace ate up that coal already. Okay. And then we're going to put our RF pipe, our kinesis pipe on the top. There we go. There! Now it's totally self-sufficient. We should never have to touch this thing again. Oh, except for this. How are we going to handle that? Okay, that was easy. We have 3 different buttons here. There's the input button, which is pulling from the top. We have the output button, which is outputting to over here. And then we have the fuel button. And we can also have that pull from the top. So it's just going to use oak wood as fuel. It's not as efficient, but that's just fine. Because we're going to have a surplus of wood. Eventually, once all these buffers fill up. We've got a lot of buffers now to fill up. But they'll fill up eventually. One last thing I want to do before we go climb the beanstalk. Before we go plant some magic beans and see what surprise that brings us, I would like to take a look at RF Tools Remote Storage. So we were already playing with the modular storage earlier. where we have these little storage modules, and we can store up to 300 stacks. That's all cool and fine and everything. We can throw some dirt in there, whatever. We can search. We can do all that stuff. It's, you know, a little bit similar to easy storage, except that it stores by stack instead of like this. And it doesn't have crafting. So, But besides that, we can pick it up. We can pick up the storage modules. We don't have to worry about dropping all our items. So it's very portable, and it's really nice that way. This, the remote storage allows us, if we make a remote storage module, we can take this storage module that we just used here in our modular storage and basically program a remote storage module to access it. And we could do that with more than one. So we can go like that. Oh, why would we not want cross-dimension access? All right, let's do that. Cross-dimension access enabled. Hooray! It's going to take more power cross-dimensionally, but anyway, right now we're not doing it cross-dimensionally. Then we can actually do the same thing. We can stick this in here, and we have access. We have access to that same storage again, but this time we have access to both units. So we can put, whoops. So we have this one, and then we have, which holds up to 300 stacks. We have this one, which also holds up to 300 stacks. So we can theoretically have 600 stacks of items in here right now. That's kind of cool, right? And we can do that up to 4 times. So we can have up to 1,200 stacks in here. So, you know, that's kind of cool, but that's not as cool as the next thing. Now we can take this remote storage and mix it. And by the way, most of these recipes are relatively cheap, except that they require, the remote storage requires a bunch of ender pearls, and so does the remote storage module. And the next thing we're going to make is the storage tablet, storage module tablet, which requires an emerald. All right, there we go. So now we can take our storage module, craft it together with our remote storage module, and we get a storage module tablet. Or wait. It's still our storage module tablet is now linked to our storage module. So now we can go now we can go charge it is what we can go do. It doesn't need to be charged. That's the one problem with me putting my thing down here, is that now I have to come out here to charge stuff, but oh wow, that was really fast. Okay, now ta-da! We can access our storage. And what's really cool is we can access it anywhere. Because we did the cross-dimensional thing, actually, let's go to sleep. We now have up to 1,200 stacks of storage that we can carry around with us. So here we are in the Nether. We're in a completely different dimension. And we can... Oh... And we cannot access our remote storage. What the? A creeper followed me into the Nether. Craziness. Well, I just tried it at my quarry and it didn't work there. Even here in the same dimension. So this item is definitely not as cool as it used to be. Alright, let's go plant some beans. Some magic beans. And see what kind of craziness ensues. I've got 3 of them. I had 4. I actually planted one already. I kind of wish I would have done that on camera with you, because I didn't really know what to expect, and it was pretty crazy. You ready? Ta-da! Look at that. Oh man. Now the one thing I haven't figured out is how the heck you climb these things. You climb it really, really fast, and it is hard. That's why I put it by the water. It's hard to climb it without falling, because check this out. Oh, I haven't fallen yet. I'm doing better than I did last time. Oh, now what though? Whoa, whoa. And you go down really fast too. And then you can break this, but actually I'm just going to fly above it so we can just kind of take a look at the perspective. See how high we are up here. We're really freaking high. We're like way, way above the clouds. So we can break this, and we get some goodies. Actually, I don't know if I should use something. I don't know if it matters. What did we get? We got some gold, some diamonds, some iron. Or did we already have the iron? No, I think that we just got that. And some beans. Hooray! And then when you're done, it breaks really fast. Whee! I do 2 of them right away. Look at that. These are so cool. Of course, I could just fly up there, but this is so much more fun. It's actually faster than flying. So I guess the idea would be that you would probably just break it like this, but I'm not going to do that. It's weird that the light, it gets dark when I stand above them. Anyway, I'm going to break these in a second, but first, I hope you enjoyed this. For the next episode, I was planning on doing Botania, but I think I'm going to push that off one more episode because what I really want to focus on next episode is building a new infusion altar area for us so that we can maximize the stability of our infusions, because obviously we're having a lot of trouble with infusions because I just haven't really given the infusion altar that much attention. I kind of threw it together and it's not in a very good spot. So we're going to change that next time and we're going to try to optimize the stability. But I hope you join me for that. And if you did enjoy this, of course, please click the like button. And now let's see what we get. 14, yeah, look at that. 14 iron, 2 diamond, 5 beans, and 2 emeralds. Nice. Ah! Ah! Actually, I think you can break these from the bottom, so maybe I'll just do that. I'll turn my harness off until I'm almost down there. There we go. Oh. Oh yeah, okay. Look at that, the whole thing goes away. Alright. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I hope you join me next time. Bye-bye.